Hello and good morning. Happy Saturday. Welcome to the Bird Show. My name is Jaybiird. We are here for the first installment of Pentiment, the whodunit murder mystery filled with mischief, betrayal, and murder. I'm really excited for this game. I hope you guys are too. I've been looking forward to it like all week. Fucking Goku and shit. So yeah, I have prevented myself from looking too much into this game. I know that it's like a 2D side scroller kind of game, but it looks really cool. I really like the artwork. I think you guys will too. Everyone's been saying that the story is really good. I think it's gonna take a couple streams, at least 2. I think it'll probably be 2 to 3 Saturdays. We'll be rocking Pentiment. Who's ready for some Pentiment? Fuck, now I just want to clutch you, dude. Okay. Okay, Pentiment with the slapper dapper music. Oh my god. Yeah! Let's fucking go. Oh man. Okay, Andreas. And the abbot said to me, Andreas, I don't want you distracting the sisters in the library. Absolutely. Saint Grobian. Up to the devil's work again, are you? Don't, Beatrice. I can't do this many voices. That would be really nice if I could do that. But I can't. Beatrice, don't encourage him. Socrates, devotion to one's work can yield pleasures of the mind superlative to those of the body. Grobian says, either you need to spend time with more exciting lovers, or I need to learn how to work the Socrates way. Hee hee. Pastor John, how did you reply to the abbot, Andreas? Said it's not my fault that God made me this handsome. Hee 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 hee. You're insufferable. Last, this Christian faith views desire less favorably than I did in my time. Oh? Perhaps this longing for you will instill them a greater appreciation for beauty. Right. Try telling that to the abbot next time, Andreas. Hee hee. Despite the abbot's ire, you must endure. Soon you will have finished both the abbot's work as well as your masterpiece, and then you will return to Nuremberg, where marriage and your new life as a master await you. Yes, marriage to someone he has never met, hardly ideal. Well, the alternative is becoming a philosopher. Oh Jesus, then you should definitely get married. Is she pretty at least? That's what my brother said in his letter, but maybe he's just trying to lift my spirits. It is growing late. The wheel of time stops for no man, Andreas. I fear you must leave us. Ah, true, your majesty. Will you visit us again soon? I don't know. I will pray for your safety and a swift return. Grobian, please see Andreas safely home. Of course, your majesty. Until next time, Andreas. Until next time, your majesty. This is fun. Pay no mind to the other fools, Andreas. I never do. Oh. Ow. Bunch of jesters. At least I would if they'd stop stepping on my feet. Watch where you're going. They're fools, Andreas. No point in trying to teach them anything. I know old John wants to endure the abbot's shit, but since I take you home, I get the last word. Don't let him run you ragged, boy. I won't. The abbot can't push me around. That's what I like to hear. That guy's licking the boat! Ah! Would you please stop? Oh. I give up. Take me home, Grobian. As you wish, Andreas. Time to get up. I like how he says that to himself. Chapter 1, The Baron, April 1518. Okay, we got our little inventory thing up here. Oh. Another day, another few pages for the abbot, and hopefully a few for myself. I need to get across town and head up to the abbey so I can start work at the scriptorium. Okay. We got our little map here. Oh. So I'm at Gertner Farm right now. To the abbey. Holy shit, I have a long way to go. People. This is cool. And silence yourself, child. You know not of what you speak. Clara, feed me. Oh. Good morning, Andreas. Did you sleep well? Quite well, actually. Thank you. Oh, I'm so glad to hear it. Anyway, I know you'll be off to the abbey, so I packed you some food. Almonds, cheese, and some of the rye you like from the Albans. Otto wanted me to ask you to join him for dinner at the abbey. Otto, okay. Eva says Otto stopped by? Yes, around dawn. Logging that. Otto was here around dawn. That might be important later. Here you are, Andreas. That's kind of you, Clara. Many thanks. Master Andreas, if it wouldn't be too much trouble, I mean, would it be too much trouble if you paid next month's rent today? And if we raised it by 2 groschen? I hate to ask, but we're behind on our taxes to the abbey, 2 months behind. Peter's losing his hair over it, even more than usual, I mean. I suppose that's not out of the question. Yes, I think I can manage that. You know the fucking vibes, dude. Big Jorg. Morning, Andreas. Morning, Big Jorg. How is it going? You working today? Just taking a rest for a bit. Dad's still in the field. He hit a big rock with the plow, and it took me Lord knows how long to pull it out. You off to the abbey? Every day but Sunday. Right. Thank God for Sundays. Smells like a storm's coming, no? Just smells like fresh alpine air to me. You've been traveling too much. Where was it you spent your Wanderja before you came to Tassing? What does that mean? We're going to find out. Wanderjari, the wandering years, during which a journeyman, artist, or craftsman travels far and wide to improve their skills. Ooh. Where did I spend it? Okay, pick a background that will affect your character's choices going forward. Press and hold to confirm your choice. We could choose Basel. Andreas knows some Italian and French and can reference cultural touchstones from Basel and nearby Bern, Zurich, and Freiburg. Or Flanders knows some Dutch and French and can reference cultural touchstones from Antwerp, Bruges, and Ghent. Or Italy. We're going Italy. Italy. Florence for a while, but Venice and Milan as well. Italy? No wonder your senses are dulled. You've been down there too long. Spend enough time in these mountains and you'll be able to smell a storm coming. How long will that take? 10, 15 years? I don't think I have that long, Big Jorg. What do you spend all that time in Italy doing anyway? Other than art, I mean. Oh, shit. Horsecock. Alright. There we go. Italian women are beautiful and the wine is exquisite. What do you think I spent my time doing? Sounds like fun, but you better not let Father Thomas hear about it. Who the fuck is Father Thomas? Fuck that guy, dude. Okay. Why not? Priests tell us to emulate the lives of the saints. I revere St. Augustine, who said, Lord, make me chaste. but not yet. Drinking and fucking. Just gonna fuck. If you say so, Andreas, I still think you're going to get in trouble with Father Thomas. Jog! Anyway, I have to get going. Jog! Let's go! Dad's already acting like I'm talking too long, even though I did all the work to get that rock out. See you later, Andreas. Until later! You know we get a little crazy around here. Okay. Martin, please, can you give me a hand here? What do you want? I'm keeping an eye on them. That looks a lot like standing there and doing nothing. Martin, for Christ's sake, help your cousin. Morning, Andreas. Excuse us. One of the fence rails fell off and sheep started hopping it. Is there something I can do to help? Have you ever handled sheep before? Well, no. Then no, but thank you. Christian of you to offer. Oh look, there's something going on up at the Steiner's place. Who's that on that horse? Looks rich. I don't know, Martin, but Lucky's giving him an earful. My voices are like all over the place. But I don't give a fuck. Christ, I haven't seen Lucky that worked up since Peter and Clara's wedding when Johann pulled his pants down. This is Johann who pulled his pants down. Knock 2 of my man's teeth out. You don't want to feel the strength behind a stonemason's anger. Do you think he's a noble? He looks really rich. Damn it, Martin. Stay out of trouble for once. What, Aunt Hetty? Behave yourself. We don't have enough to deal with right now. There's like typos that they correct. Andreas, if you wouldn't mind moving your skinny little body up the road, we need to get these sheep under control. Say less? Of course. See you later. Don't work too hard, Martin. Ha! This will be remembered? Oh, okay. That's the Drucker house. Klaus. The hell was that? Morning, Andreas. How's it going? Morning, Klaus. Another day at the Abbey. Another few hours to work on my masterpiece. Good to hear. You still coming by for supper tonight? Mary and Bert would love to see you. He's gonna be Southern. You really need to see these new woodcuts I have for an Italian edition of Till Eulenspiegel. What the fuck does that mean? I didn't realize Father Thomas let you print books in Italian. Come on, Andreas. He's not that strict. I know he's just trying to protect people from heresy. Sure, why not? Some of things people are publishing these days would make a bishop's head spin. Or an abbot's. Doesn't take much with that one. I know it, but at least I don't have to deal with them much. So, supper tonight after Vespers? Of course. Thank you. Great. I'll tell Mary and Bert you're coming. See you then. For some faces of the name. Okay, Bert's a small child. And Mary, probably a wife, I guess. See you later. Everybody loves me. Everybody knows it. God bless, Master Mailer. I hope your week is going well. Thank you, Father, but I'm running late to the Abbey. It's no problem if you don't have time for me today, but the question is, will you have time for the Lord on Sunday? You understand how important it is for your salvation that you receive Holy Communion, don't you? Yeah, I apologize, Father Thomas. I promise I'll see you Sunday. You don't have to make a promise to me. Our salvation is contingent. Oh my, what a blessed day to receive an illustrious visitor. Master Mailer, this is Lawrence, Baron of Rothvogel, a lord, the great lord from the countryside near Worms.
Good to see you, Father Thomas. It is nice to be remembered fondly. I only wish all of your neighbors were as welcoming.
Well, yes. What brings you back to our little town?
My wife and I were returning from a trip to Venice. We spent a few days in Innsbruck, and it was terribly dull. I mean, it has a certain charm common to these alpine cities, but the place was crawling with nobles for Emperor's
Diet. Is it Diet?
The Emperor. Was he there? Did you see him?
It does sound like the Beatles.
Oh, briefly, but he was sitting for a portrait at the time. Quite lovely. I didn't want to bother him or the painter.
Oh, okay, we can use our background. How is Venice, my lord? I lived there a few years ago.
Oh, fascinating. Well, the city's Jews now live in their own quarter in the north.
Both these guys have the same voice, by the way.
The city's artists are still producing wonderful work.
Titian, in particular, is a god. No offense, father.
Of course.
Anyway, my wife wanted to stay a bit longer in Innsbruck, and I decided to ride ahead to main a visit to Kiersau. I heard Father Matthias died shortly after my last visit, of course.
Matthias, it's right when months as well as people tasking known for his kindness and his love of books.
A great loss for the Abbey and for us all.
Matthias.
Indeed, by good fortune, I recently came across a copy of the Historia I can't hardly read it. It was really daring my last visit. Father Matthias was hoping for a second copy to corroborate the contents of the first. It contains some fascinating details about the history of this place. I'm afraid they might even cause a bit of a scandal.
Ah, yes.
But I must be off. There'll be time enough to discuss Tassing's past later. I commissioned a manuscript from the Abbey through Father Gernot, and I've come to check on its progress.
This is a perfect game for me to have played. With all the medieval shit that I pull, like, could this be any better?
Oh, my lord, if you'll come to see your manuscript, you should speak with young Master Mela here.
Yeah, not quite a true master yet. I still have to marry and be approved by our city council. And
Andreas is a journeyman artist from Nuremberg. For the next few months, he's also helping on the Abbey's scriptorium.
Scriptorium being a room for writing, illustrating, and illuminating manuscripts. Though typically associated with monasteries, they have disappeared from almost all abbeys by the 16th century.
The Nuremberg artist working in an abbey scriptorium in 1518? Oh, we should talk. Andreas, you must know the story.
Of course, my lord. It would be an honor.
This will be remembered. Wonderful! It's so rare to find someone in the countryside who knows anything about art. Thank you for the introduction, Father Thomas. Come to supper at the abbey tonight. I'm inviting you to the abbot's table.
Did the abbot invite me?
Oh, don't worry about it, Father. Just show up after Vespers. What is he going to do? Refuse us? Excellent. We'll see you then. I'd like to take my time talking with Master Mela. I'll meet you there at once, my lord. So then, a journeyman from Nuremberg.
Forgive me for saying so, but you seem a little old to now be a master. Are you unmarried? Oh, the other guy said that. Whoops. No, I'm not married, but in truth, I came to my vocation later than my brothers. I was in university for a number of years at Erfurt.
Erfurt, wonderful. The same university as Martin Luther. Have you read his works? Tremendous mind. He says things about the church that should have been said years ago. Might get him into trouble, but he's a brave, brilliant man. Wait, you may have even met him. Did you? You must tell me.
No, he was a few years ahead of me. Still, his ideas do seem fascinating. This will be remembered.
I agree wholeheartedly. I simply must meet him if I get the chance. I wonder if the good brothers of the Abbey have heard of him. Perhaps they have even read his list of 95 theses against the church. Father Matthias was not above having a lively debate. I hope Father Gernot does not disappoint in that regard.
But enough about Luther for now. Tell me about your university studies.
Little sus? Why are you so interested in my education?
Yes, it must seem strange. I did not attend university, but I had a rich private education at my family's estate.
Why did it do that?
I love all knowledge, from Aristotle and Cicero to Ficino and Erasmus, and everyone in between and yet to come.
Okay.
You may have misjudged the Baron. It seems he is as well-read as any university student. In truth, I am simply happy to speak with another well-educated man. Now then, did you earn your doctorate? No, I didn't. Only a master's degree. I started working toward a doctorate, but didn't finish. That's a shame. What was your area of study? Law, I suppose. I thought I could practice in Nuremberg. I never had much interest in the subject, honestly. A bit dull for my taste. Besides, the Empire's such a mess of jurisdictions. Bavarian law, Rhenish law, Franconian law. Nonsense. I'd rather use my money to pay someone who studied the nonsense than learn it myself.
You! If I had any faith, I would have prayed you'd never show your face here again.
Oh, there's Otilia.
Curse you, Lorenz Rothwagel. Perkta's dogs tearing you to pieces would be too kind of fate.
These rustic communities display a shocking lack of hospitality, don't you think? I'm just gonna say nothing. He's gonna say nothing. Well, what of your early time in the university? Every student must study the trivium and quadrivium, yes? Do you have a favorite subject? Jesus. We'll go with logic. Logic, geometry, and arithmetic. Quite interesting for an artist. Was Aristotle's Organon the foundation of your study? Yes, the Organon for logic and Euclid's Elements for geometry, but the past few centuries have yielded wonderful new texts on logic. Peter Abelard provided the foundation of scholastic philosophy and established the primacy of Aristotle's work. The Englishman William of Ockham gave us the Summa Logicae, arguing nominalism against Platonic realism. Fucking say that 5 times fast. And of course, Thomas Aquinas gave us the tools to employ both faith and reason in the pursuit of truth. The monks and friars, of course, a great deal of work to force Aristotle to fit within the church's vision of truth. Is that so wrong? I question that these great men should have had to wrestle logic into what the church established by fiat and force. And your other studies, was there anything else you excelled at? Alright, so we get a second one now. I'll pick this one. The art of persuasion, naturally. Rhetoric. I assume you studied the Greeks and Romans both. Yes, Aristotle and Cicero, of course, but also Christian thinkers like Augustine and Thomas Aquinas. True, we have less use for public discourse than senators did in the Roman Republic. Exactly, the doctors of the church weren't trying to persuade politicians, but to move the mind toward Christian truth. Still, the principles remain the same. Invent your arguments, then arrange style and internalize them before delivering them to your audience. Splendid! I suppose an artist has little use for rhetoric, especially in a place such as this. Not true. Rhetoric is also an art, and like other forms of art, it should be created for the audience and its purpose. It can be practiced as easily in the streets of a rural town as in the Curia of Rome. Well put! Ah, there's the Abbey. I have good memories of this place and of Father Matthias. I was sad to hear of his passing. How did you come to know him? How did you come to know of Curacao at all? My family have been patrons of Curacao for, I don't know how many generations. Some years ago, I heard that Curacao still had a wonderful library and artisans. Professional artists have taken over most of manuscript production, so I was shocked to find an active scriptorium here. Well, there's not much left of it these days. 2 old men, a young scribe, and me. Ah, well, perhaps it is nostalgia that brings me back here. I commissioned a manuscript through Father Gernot a year ago. I thought I would stop by and check on the progress. Wait, are you the artist working on it? It's a prayer book with 20 illustrations. I know the work, but no, I do not know the artist well. The venerable brother Piero. The old man. How venerable? He still has his wits and his skills, if that's what concerns you. Brother Piero has an incredible talent with color, and I very much look forward to seeing it. All right, we made it to the Abbey. We're with Lawrence. Let's not keep the abbot waiting any longer. Oh, got some nuns. Nuns. Quite unusual for a Benedictine house to have monks and nuns, even if they are separated. The church closed most of them centuries ago. But then, Curacao is a place out of time in more ways than one. Do you know Mother Cecilia? She seemed to recognize you. We're acquainted, yes. Let's leave it at that. Ah, you must be Father Gernot. I'm Lawrence, Barons of... Yes! The Baron of Rothvogel. So wonderful to have you here. We actually did not meet on your last visit. If you say so, I am not good with remembering faces. Please, forgive me, my lord. I wasn't expecting you for another few days. Yes, I know. I wrote ahead. I just couldn't wait to see my manuscript. I'm sure it's no trouble. Yes, no. It's no trouble. You want to see it now? Oh, in a moment. I could do with a bit of refreshment, though. May I grab something from the kitchen? Yes, certainly, my lord. I will meet you there. Andreas! I don't know what you were doing with the Baron, but I need you in the scriptorium now. Of course, Father. I'm eager to get to work. Then get to work! Shit, I should have asked him about an advance for the Gertner's taxes. Maybe I could just convince Brother Matthew to pay me early. Dude with the glasses. The brother with the glasses. Oh, that was a mouthful. Find a way to get paid, baby. Hell yeah. God bless you, Andreas. Is your voice yet recovered from Easter Mass? Rudger? How do you pronounce that? Yes, it was a bit of a strain, but a worthy sacrifice. Well, if the Lord could give us his all on Easter. Exactly. Have a good day in the scriptorium. Have a good day singing. So sick, dude. So fucking sick. God bless you, Andreas. How is the sacristy today, Matthew? The same as yesterday. Does my vocation seem silly to you, Master Mailer? No, I was just being friendly. Then go in peace, friend, knowing that the Abbey's treasures are secure for another day. God be with you. One more thing. I got a favor to ask. Yes, Andreas? I was hoping you could give me my pay for the latest manuscript early. This isn't part of the agreement you made with Father Gernot. You'll be paid on the completion of each additional manuscript you illuminate, not before. My accent's all over the place. Fuck it. I only have a few pages left, Brother Matthew. I'll finish them in the next few days, anyway. Then I think you can wait a few days to collect your wages. This abbey runs through mutual agreements, not haphazard payments. Breaking such contracts would cause undue trouble not only for Curacao, but for Tasting as well. The matter is pressing, Brother Matthew. For the love of another Christian, I beg you to make an exception. Very well. Do not ask this of me again, Andreas Mailer. Hell yeah, we got paid. Here you are. I shall note this with Father Gernot and Prior Fairink. Thank you, Brother Matthew. God bless you, Andreas. Alright, now that I've got my payment, I can give Clara the rent early. Oh, okay. Okay, because yeah, Clara, back where we started, was like, hey, Let me get it. So now we got it. I'll give it to her directly to make sure she sees it, or I'll put it on the table in the evening to surprise them. I'll give it to her directly. What the fuck?
Andreas, God bless you. So good to see you.
Good morning, Brother Piero. Good to see you as well. Oh, man. See, this is going to be hard because there's several people in here. So I'm just going to read this part. I don't like this weather. My bones ache. It means a storm is coming. Big George Gertner says that if you live here 10 or 15 years, you can smell the storms coming. Brother Adoc has been here long enough that we can always smell him coming. Do not forget, Brother Guy, the fate of the youths who jeered the aged prophet Elisha outside of Bethel. Are you comparing yourself to a prophet, Brother Adoc? I am comparing you to an impudent youth whom the Lord, in his ineffable wisdom, may choose to strike down. Calm yourself, Brother Adoc. You're too sensitive to guys' jokes. I am old Andreas. Every slight against me stings with the fire of 1,000 wasps. But I will pray to God for the strength to endure this wickedness. Well, everyone seems quite lovely. I suppose that means Prior Ferenc is not overseeing us today. He was here, but then he heard Lorenz Rothvogel had arrived, and he hurried out like a little mouse. Ferenc is so desperate to impress the abbot and nobles like Rothvogel, it's pathetic. You feign kindness to Father Abbot and our prior only to speak about them like this behind their backs. It's shameful. Oh no, Baron Rothvogel, his manuscript. I just realized that he will want to see his manuscript. How silly of me. Of course, that's why he is visiting. Perhaps if you were younger and faster, you wouldn't need to worry so much about patrons' visits. What's the problem? The Baron is just one client. He has to wait like everyone else. Andreas, Baron Rothvogel is not like anyone else. He has powerful friends, including the Prince Bishop of Freischreich. Kirsau is already out of favor. Father Abbot does not want to have to deal with more attention. Well, if Prior Ferenc isn't here, I'm going to work on my masterpiece until he arrives. Oh, that's right. I need to reference the Endermauer manuscript. Okay.
What do you want, Andreas?
Oh, that's a woman. A book. The Endermauer manuscript. The Book of Hours. What is this? Prominent family of the Swiss Confederacy and Austria. Book of Hours being a type of illuminated manuscript that contains an abbreviated form of the prayers for the divine office. In addition to other religious texts, most are relatively plain, but wealthy patrons often commission lavish examples with elaborate illustrations.
Your hair looks messy today. Did you get enough sleep?
No, because I was dreaming about you.
Liar.
I just get the book.
Ugh, that's all all the way upstairs. Can't you get by without it?
I'm sorry, I really can't. I need to reference it for my work.
Really? My feet hurt. And the stairs are so steep. I'm just going to ask Illuminati to get it. Another nun. Sister Illuminata. Andreas needs help finding a book, and I don't know where it is. Andreas? Sister Illuminata, I'd like to borrow the Endermauer manuscript, the Book of Hours.
Yes, I overheard. Here, please return it promptly.
Okay. The day is moving on. Getting into evening time. I think this is all... We're setting things up here for, like, the main story. Oh, where's the time gone? It's already... terse. Monastic hour corresponding to 9 a.m. One of the hours of prayer. Okay. Prayer hour. Until later, Andreas. Until later. Oh, this is our waspy dude. What is he doing? What is he writing in there? He's looking around all sketchy.
What's going on in here? Andreas, what was that noise?
I'm sorry, Sister Illuminata. I knocked a bowl of paint to the floor. But then Prior Farron came in, wrote in one of his books, slammed it closed, and left. He was in such a hurry, I don't think he even noticed me.
He was slamming books shut? Prior Farron should know better than that. Some of these manuscripts are quite delicate.
He seemed to be in a great hurry.
I think he's on edge since Baron Rothvogel arrived early. Which is why books should not be taken out of the library unless it is necessary for divine reading or work in the scriptorium.
Well, that reminds me, there are a few more books I've been wanting to borrow.
You can't be serious. You want more books? I think Prior Farron is giving you more than enough.
If it's a problem, you should bring it up with Father Gernot or Mother Cecilia. I'm assuming you've already talked to Prior Farron about it.
I'm not questioning the prior's judgment, and I'm not going to tattle to my superiors. But as you are not a brother, I'll need to be more cautious about what books you take from our library. Especially since you've already tricked me into giving you books that neither the prior nor the abbot gave permission for.
I apologize. It was unkind and unfair of me. This will be remembered.
I appreciate it, though. You've actually done it twice. Clara was first. The letters were the second. Do you remember? I certainly do.
Are you sure that was me?
Enough. I think I've made myself clear. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Wait, what's all this fuss about Lawrence Rothvogel? Why is Prior Farron so nervous?
Lawrence? I didn't know you were familiar enough with the man who used his Christian name. Anyway, I haven't dealt with him personally, but the prior and Father Abbot have. I only know that he's purchased a number of our most valuable manuscripts over the years. And he paid enough to help the Abbey when we needed it.
Like, what did he buy?
I can't remember. You know, I have my own responsibilities to attend to. How about this, Andreas? If you help me recover some missing books, I'll tell you what I know about the Baron.
Of course, I'll help in any way I can. It will be remembered.
Thank you. It's for the good of the Abbey.
Where should I begin?
Out there, where you and your cohort have carelessly strewn books around the scriptorium. I'll tell you what books I'm looking for, find them, and return them to me.
Now then, Rothvogel, quickly though. I need to finish up here soon. How long has he been visiting the Abbey? I'm not sure. Well acquainted with Father Matthias, so at least 5 years, perhaps longer. Were the Baron and Father Matthias friends? I cannot know Father Matthias' heart, but I did hear him express concerns about the Baron on occasion. He believed his love of occult books was irreverent and that the Baron had a number of moral shortcomings. Moral shortcomings of what kind? The kind that are all too common to powerful men. After the Baron's last visit, I think the abbot may have had enough of him. But that is only speculation. Father Matthias died not long after the Baron departed. Well, I must be off to Mass. Thank you again for your help, Andreas. Wait, how will you get to the church if you can't enter the scriptorium? I thought this was the only door to the library. We are standing in the oldest part of the abbey, and like any old place, it has its share of secrets. Ooh. Good day, Andreas. God be with you. That's a bell for Sext. Brothers will be sitting down for dinner soon. See if Otto is around and still wants to eat with me. He's working by the guest house below the abbey. This mother trucker. Martin.
Go away, Andreas. Can't you see I'm busy?
Not really. What are you doing?
Mind your own business.
I'm only curious, and curiosity is a virtue.
You're nothing but a snoop and windbag. Piss off. I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Fucker.
The voices inside my ear.
Who? Sebat? 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 Alright, fuck it.
God give you health, Master Mailer.
Brother Sebat, I'm surprised to see you still here.
As am I, but I'll be leaving soon, returning to Rome. I and my bishop regent, I and my bishop regret that we could not reciprocate Father Rodolph's generosity earlier. He showed much kindness to our priest at the Council of Constance many, many years ago.
Will you remain in Rome?
That is up to my bishop, but I will miss these mountains in any case. You should travel to Ethiopia, Masamela, and see the highlands. God has blessed my home with the wondrous beauty.
I'd love to someday. I still need to return to Nuremberg and open my workshop.
Yes, someday. Until then, if you are ever in Rome, I may still be around.
I've only made it as far south as Florence, but I'd like to see Rome.
By the way, if you have some time in the next few days, it would be nice to share a meal with you and some of the townsfolk.
Townsfolk?
I am accustomed to strange looks, especially in rural places like these, but I have had kind words with the baker and his wife.
Yes, the Albans, Ulrich and Gretz.
I offered to tell a story to the children and their mothers over a meal someday. Gretz seemed excited about the idea, but I would be more comfortable if you were there as well.
I can certainly make time.
Thank you, Andreas. I look forward to it. God give you health.
Prior Faring, is this mine? It must be, yes? It is, my lord. I can explain. No, I don't want excuses. I've come all this way, and I have to be honest. I expected more. It's nowhere near finished, and the style is, well, it's very old-fashioned. I thought I made my desires clear. I feel like my generosity towards Kiyosawa is being taken advantage of. Am I the fool in this sad story?
Fine. No, of course not, my lord. Never. We can fix this, of course. Of course. We only want to accommodate you.
Ah, Andreas, good to see you again.
My lord? This will be remembered.
Father Gernot, why not have Andreas complete the rest of the illustrations? He's clearly capable.
Well, my lord, why not have Brother Guy complete it? If speed is your concern.
No, I'm not talking about the script. That's fine, but the art, the illustrations. I want Andreas to do the others.
Of course. I mean, if Andreas is alright with it.
I'll do what I have to do.
There, we have it. I hope this allows your allays your concerns, my lord.
Excellent. By the way, Father Abbot, am I still welcome at your table for supper?
Naturally, my lord.
Wonderful. I'd like Andreas to join us.
My lord, I've already made supper plans with the Drucker family in town.
So we run. Nonsense! You can eat with them any day. I'm only here for the evening. Well, Father?
Well, that would be quite unusual.
Usual or not, I doubt that my good friend, the Prince Bishop, would deny additional guests at his table. What do you think?
I understand. Yes, you're right, of course. Andreas may join us for supper.
I look forward to it.
Too many characters in one scene. Supper at the abbot's table. Oh.
Andreas, I'm glad you'll be joining us for supper, though the circumstances are unusual, to be sure. I won't be able to speak with you. None of the brothers will, but it'll be good to have you with us.
That's a shame. I always enjoy our talks.
Now, the same doesn't apply to you at the abbot's table. You can talk all you like. Though I wouldn't recommend it. Father Abbot does not look kindly on idle chatter.
I wish you could take my place, Brother Piero. You deserve the honor. Anyway, I'm sorry for how the prior treated you. It's not fair. It's humiliating.
Oh, no, my son. There's no need to worry about me or my pride. And we all need a taste of humility from time to time to keep our feet on this earth. No, Andreas, you are my pride. I cannot claim to have taught you much, but I am proud to have known you and your work. And when you leave all of us at Kierson Abbey behind, you can call upon your friend Lorenz, the Baron Rothvogel, to keep you in your career.
He's wrong, you know. Ferenc is wrong about you being so slow.
Don't trouble yourself over it. Time passes for us all. Things change. The future will right over the present. You need not fear it, any of it, so long as you remain true to yourself and God. Now I must hurry to the refectory to join my brothers. I'll see you inside.
Andreas! Glad you could join us.
Thank you, my lord. Father Gernot, Father Thomas, Prior Ferenc. Good to see you. Hello.
Simon, Peter answered, you're the Messiah, the Son of the living God.
Oh, the Gospel of Matthew. Wonderful.
Jesus replied, blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah. For this was not revealed to you by flesh and blood, but by my Father in heaven. And I tell you that you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not overcome it.
Have you read Matthew much, Andreas?
Some, yes.
Ahem. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. I'll give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven.
What up, K-Chain?
He then ordered his disciples not to tell anyone that he was the Messiah.
Whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven. That reminds me, Father Gernot, have you read anything about Martin Luther?
I can't say that,
He has some incredible ideas about the church. Brilliant, I think.
So we're at some big dinner now.
My lord, is the meal to your liking? I believe I remember you enjoying our quail on your last visit.
The quail? My God! Father Abbot, the quail's fine, but don't you think Luther's ideas are worth discussing? He's talking about the future of the church, shaking things up in a way I don't think we've seen before. Father Thomas, you see value in his ideas, do you not?
My lord? Nah, my lord? I mean, no offense, but I do not.
Brother Matthew, yes, how appropriate. What are your thoughts on Luther's attacks on the church's sale of indulgences?
Baron, please, do not involve the other brothers in this conversation.
Fine, fine. What about Andreas?
Oh. Certainly a man who attended the same university as Martin Luther can spare some thoughts on his work. I must respect Father Abbott's wishes at his table, my lord. This will be remembered.
It too, Andreas. I expected more of you.
Enough! Lord Rothvogel, you are our guest and held in high esteem, but you have worn out my patience. You will not be discussing Luther's work with Andreas, Thomas, Matthew, or with any other brother. Is that clear?
I suppose, Father, it is your abbey, but you're talking too much offense at this, and you're far too afraid of change. Whether it's from Luther or someone else, reform is coming to the church. You had better accept it.
What? Neither you nor Martin Luther dictate change to the Holy Church on their whim. This talk is beyond insulting. It's blasphemous. Outrageous. How dare you?
I see. I have overstepped my bounds, and I suppose I have ruined everyone's supper. My apologies.
I suspect a murder.
In spite of the unpleasantness, I will make good on my manuscript payment and the donation of my copy of Historia Tessier. If you cannot accept what the future will bring, perhaps it's time for you to come to terms with your past. Well, no need to overstay my welcome. Fathers, brothers, Andreas, good night. Don't worry about Father. Gernot and the Baron, I'm sure it will be fine by morning. I hope Father Abbot can see that the Baron's heart is in the right place, even if he picked the wrong time to express himself.
That seems unlikely.
Maybe so, but we must never lose hope. In any case, I do hope the Baron respects the Abbot's wishes for the rest of the stay. For everyone's sake.
Brother Prior, what do you think of Martin Luther's ideas?
Ha! That is for younger and wiser men than me to decide. I'm just a monk, thank God. Good night, my son.
Huh?
Gah! Are you alright, Master Mailer?
Did you see that? The aqueduct?
The ghost?
Must be a better explanation than that.
Well, I'm not here to tell you what you saw. Wouldn't be the first time people have seen ghosts round these parts.
Interesting.
Well, I think I found Joanne's lost sheep. I'm gonna head home. Take care, Master Mailer.
I will. Thank you, Till. So I'm a scripter, working on Helping to work on a project for the Baron. The Baron. Big, powerful Baron who's in town. We're learning sketchy things about the Baron. He's kind of got the whole town on edge. Ah! No! We're running into a lot of stuff here at night. Pale horse! Pale horse! Still on the floor! Hello? Are you alright in there? Matins! Matins! The pale horse! Death! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Baron's always sus. Sister, listen to my voice. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Yes! Yes, Father, I hear you. Am I here? What the fuck? I hear you. Am I here? Is this now? She's losing her shit. Yes, you are with us. And this is now. I apologize, Andreas. I imagine that must have been quite alarming. Is she alright? She is, yes. Sister Amelie is a mystic gifted with visions when God sees fit to give her one. Some are more frightening than others. What is she doing here? Does she live in the church? She lives in there, yes. I'm a little surprised you haven't noticed her before. If you come to Mass more often, you will see that I give her communion through a window to her cell. Her cell? She's an anchoress, a religious hermit, so devoted to God that she has enclosed herself in a cell next to the church. She is dead to the world, but continues a life of prayer and religious contemplation, and sometimes, ever so rarely, she receives great and terrible visions. Is she local to Tassing, or was she a nun at Kirsau? Neither. She came here from a Benedictine abbey in Lower Bavaria after it burned down. I am her confessor and caretaker. Many anchoresses are not literate. I write down her visions to help interpret them. Not all the monks and nuns at Kirsau could read, even poor brother Volkbert. Thank you, Father Thomas. I must rest now. Oh, shit. Of course, sister. She seems unhappy. She's not unhappy. She's in pain, both physical and spiritual. Her spiritual pain comes from her revelations. They come and go. I try to address them as best I can. The physical pain comes from a deformity in her spine and aching in her joints. I know no cure for that, save prayer to the Almighty. Sister Amelie was saying she had a vision of death. Could someone be in danger? Oh no, don't rush to judgment. Her visions are divine and powerful, but they could not be something. I missed it. But some of her revelations take years to comprehend. Some may never be understood at all, as God wills it. Still, the argument at dinner was quite troubling. Perhaps it's cast a shadow over her thoughts. Now then, the good sister appears to have fallen back to sleep. I must prepare for bed myself. Good night, Andreas. Good night, Father. Okay. So we got a weird, like, visionary nun chilling in the chapel. Okay.
Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces fast, and I'm homebound.
We're learning about the characters. We're figuring out our character, and it's kind of setting the landscape for what's about to happen, I think. It's getting late. I should get some rest. Go to sleep. Good morning. What happened? Storm rolled in during the night. It hasn't let up all morning. Claire and I have been doing what we can in here to keep, fuck, I missed it. Peter and Jog are outside trying to deal with the flooding as best they can. Oh my, is the farm in danger? There's always a danger with this much rain, but we've lived through worse. Whatever happens, it will be as God wills it. We must have faith in Providence and enjoy what is to come. Oh, I have some food for you. She be packing me lunches, bruh. Sure, sorry, I couldn't prepare anything more. Thank you. Otto wanted me to say hello, by the way. Oh, she's smiling. Oh, he did? Good. Thank you. Have a good day at the Abbey, Andreas. Try to stay dry. Thanks, you too. Good luck. Oh, this is wonderful. The rest of the Abbey is soaked and there's not a drop of rain in here. Good thing the Abbey had Otto replace the roof of the scriptorium and library last month with the kale factory next door. We can stay warm while everyone else is cold and wet. Instead of bragging about our good fortune, you should think upon your brothers and sisters and pray for their health and safety. Yeah, its foresight saved a lot of our work and protected what's in the library. The town hasn't fared as well. I'm sure they'll be fine. More importantly, if they're not, I don't care. Brother Guy, your heart is harder than the stone on this floor. I have a grumpy old monk, but where's the nice one? Brother Piero, haven't you seen him yet today? I did before Brother Guy arrived. Brother Piero left to speak to the abbot some time ago. What? Why is Matthew ringing the bell? It can't be tense already. Probably stop soon. Such a cacophony is an assault on my frail ears. It's not stopping. I suppose this means we're summoned to the chapter house. God give me the strength to endure the rain. It's 50 feet, old man. You'll live. God give me the strength to endure this man. It's not stopping. What's going on? This can't all be because of the storm. I should see what's the matter. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Sound like a scream coming from the cloister. Coming from the chapter house. I think something has happened, Master Andreas. Here we go, guys. Here we go. Who is it? Who is it? What happened? I think it's the Baron. He's been hurt. The Baron. Please, Father. Where's brother of Florian? Have him come quickly.
Be silent, brother. Brother Florian, if you please.
A knife. I'm sorry, Father. There's nothing to be done. He's dead.
No! Sister Margaret, calm yourself. Sister Gertrude, please take Sister Margaret back to the garden. Yes, Mother Cecilia. God protect us. The Baron was a friend of the Prince Bishop of Phrasing.
Why is he so worried about the Prince Bishop? This abbey is odd in more than one way. Its existence often offends some in the church. We are far enough from Rome and Maine that means that everyone forgets about us, but this could bring unwanted attention.
Florian, how easily do you think you could dispose of this body?
Oh, the abbot. What? I can't remember the voice I just did. What are you saying? Why are you questioning me? Why are you wasting precious time? You want to see the soldiers of the Prince Bishop march upon our steps? And fling your brothers and sisters out of our home? God protect us. No, no, Divis nos guarde. Silence, quiet.
Calm yourselves, all of you.
Father Abbot, Baron Rothvogel's manservant is already preparing to leave. The Baron's wife should be here in a matter of hours. This is not the time for rash decisions.
Yes, you're right, forgive me. But then, what will we do? We must send the Baron's man to court of the Prince Bishop in Phrasing at once.
Mother Cecilia, the Baron said the Prince Bishop's archdeacon was in Innsbruck for the imperial diet.
Even better, swift action will silence whispers of impropriety on our part. Given the Baron's stature, the Archdeacon will undoubtedly come to investigate immediately. We must cooperate with him fully and pray for a speedy resolution. Yes, yes, good. Thank you, Mother Cecilia. Brother Waslav, please detain Brother Piero in the cellar until the Prince Bishop's man arrives. What, Brother Piero? Why? Father Gernot, I implore you to reconsider. He was caught in flagrant delicto, covered in blood with a knife in his hand. Father, do you really believe that Brother Piero is capable of such a foul deed? Yes, capable enough when motivated by anger. I had no anger against the Baron, Father Abbot. I simply came across him like this. No anger? Not even insulting your work and forcing us to give it to Andreas? This is not a subject for debate. When the Prince Bishop's man arrives, we must not be empty-handed. He wasn't angry. Anyone who was in the scriptorium knows that. Even Guy knows that. Be quiet. This is not your affair. It's my affair if you're going to make me a part of Brother Piero's supposed motive. I am through debating this with you. My decision stands. Brother Wiseslav will detain Brother Piero in the cellar until I say otherwise. Brother Florian, please escort Andreas out of the abbey. Andreas, do not show your face here again until tomorrow. Do you understand me? This is ridiculous. But yes. The Baron has been murdered.
Andreas, listen to me. I sympathize with you. I don't think Piero did this either. This isn't the time to push the abbot. I'm sure the other brothers and sisters believe Piero is innocent as well, but the abbot is worried about the Prince Bishop's attention.
If you have any recommendations, I'd love to hear them.
Take a few hours to calm your nerves and your mind. You need to think clearly. Go to the Druckers, eat a good meal, and come back at nones. We won't have much time, but tap on my window with a small stone, and I'll let you in.
Let me in for what?
To examine the body.
This. Good day, Andreas. Back from the abbey already? It's only noon.
Andreas, are you all right?
No. Something terrible has happened.
Oh, God. What? No, forgive me. Come inside and sit down for a minute.
Yes, this has been a difficult day. I could use a distraction. I have just the thing then. I'd like your opinion on my latest project. Sure, why not? We'll go in. We'll kick it with him. Good day, Andreas. Should I fix you a plate? If it's not too much trouble, I'd appreciate it. It would be my pleasure. This rain has got everyone's spirits down. Hopefully a good meal can cheer you up. Hello.
Bless us, O Lord, and these your gifts, which we are about to receive from your bounty through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Amen. I'm hungry.
Amen.
Andreas, what were the bells for at the abbey? They were sounding for a long time. Visiting nobleman Lorenz Rothvogel was found murdered in the chapel house. God in heaven! He just rode by here yesterday. Yes, and it gets worse. One of the elderly brothers I work with in the scriptorium, Piero, was accused of the crime. That's awful. Murder in Kierstow? How could a monk do such a thing? I'm sorry, Andreas. The Baron seemed like an interesting man. I know he's been a patron of the abbey for years. How did he die? Could it have been an accident? And does the abbot really believe that Brother Piero killed him? You've always spoken of him in the kindest terms. It seemed like he'd been stabbed, but I don't know. There was a lot of blood around him, but no, I can't believe Piero did it. I can't imagine him harming anyone. Stabbed? It's hard for me to imagine a monk doing that as well, but who knows? How could it have been one of the sisters? If it wasn't Brother Piero, who do you think could have done it? I did see Lucky Steinauer get into a shouting argument with Lawrence yesterday just before I walked by your place. Lucky, the old bald man.
Lucky. Why would he have cause to shout at a nobleman?
There's probably something else going on that you wouldn't know about, dear. What do you mean by that? I'm not one to trade gossip, but if you really want to know, talk to some of the other women in town. Or Mother Cecilia up at the abbey. Could it have something to do with the nuns? But would Lucky argue with Lorenz about nuns?
Oh, there's no need for that. Lucky is a forthright man. I'm sure if you ask him, he'll tell you what the argument was about.
Thank you both. That's good advice. There's something else, though. When Lawrence and I were walking through the meadow, the window Kemperin came out of the woods and...
Yes?
Well, she cursed him. Not surprised, Ottilia's late husband ran afoul of Lorenz on his last visit to Tassing. I don't remember the details, but Rannig died just last year, and Ottilia hasn't been the same since. She was always an old bitch, even before she was old. Klaus, that's enough. She's had to deal with a lot in life. Now she lives all alone at the edge of the woods. There are rumors she's going to lose her property soon.
I do pity her, even if she's a bitter woman. There should be an exception in the law for her to inherit.
Women are not legally barred from inheriting. It all depends on the details of the lease. Did she come from a wealthy family?
She did, in fact. Wealthier than Rannig's, anyway.
If the land they lived on was part of her dowry, she may make a case to lay claim to it on property of equal value. Well, well, are you a lawyer, Andreas? Enough about Attilia. Is there anyone else you think may have done it? I don't know if he has any intent, but Prior Ferenc always has been acting strange since the day Lawrence arrived. Perhaps an academic disagreement. I know they're both avid readers, both the classics and new works. On his last visit, the Baron bought a book on astronomy for me. I know the Prior has some similar interests.
But would the Prior kill someone over a simple disagreement?
It's not that outlandish. When I was in the university, I saw men throw punches over small academic concerns. What is an opinion for some? It's a testament of faith for others, and worth killing for. That may be so, but I've never seen that sort of anger in Prior Ferenc. Not even when Gernot was Mad Abbot instead of him. Is it Gurno? Maybe it's Gurno. Afterward, he seemed bitter, but never violent. That just doesn't seem to be a part of his character. So, Lucky, the widow and the Abbey Prior, anyone else? There was something strange when we approached the Abbey together. Mother Cecilia was outside with some of the sisters. Mother Cecilia scowled and took the nuns inside without saying a word. Sounds like they have a history, at least. I do not know Mother Cecilia personally, but I've never heard anyone speak badly of her. If she had cause to dislike the Baron, I must believe she had good reason. Well, Andreas, it sounds like there's a lot to look into. Thank you for talking to me. I was feeling overwhelmed. You're always welcome here, Andreas. Anytime. Yeah! You are especially welcome with this one. I have several leads to follow, but where should I start? I could talk to Lady Steinauer. He's probably working in front of his house. The widow Kemperin lives south of here, near Franz Bauer. Prior Ferenc is usually at the scriptorium, but I won't be able to talk to him until tomorrow. Still, nothing will prevent me from talking to Mother Cecilia in the convent. If I don't attend Brother Florian's examination of the body at the Abbey, he'll have to do it without me. Jesus Christ. Decisions. Here we go. Now we gotta get to... Gotta figure it out, guys. Gotta figure out the murder. It's hard to find out, like... Oh, that's Lucky right there. Hello, Andreas. Something you need? How you doing, Lucky? We don't talk much. Andreas, I have things to do. Father Thomas. Father Thomas needs me to help out at the church. After that, I'm going fishing with old Otto. So if you don't need me to repair a wall or a fallen chimney, then leave me be. You can see you're busy, so I'll keep it brief. I hope to ask you a few questions about Baron Rothvogel. No. No, but it will only take a moment. Ask your questions of someone else. I saw you shouting at the Baron when he arrived in Tassing. What was that about? Get in through your pebbler-stuffed head. I'm not talking about Rothvogel. A man is dead, Lucky, and another life hangs in the balance. Christ compels us to speak honestly, neighbor to neighbor. Damn it, Andreas. I told you to leave me be. Christ has nothing to do with it. Did you kill him, Lucky? Is that why you won't talk about him? Lucky already told me he didn't want to talk about Lawrence. But it's clear they argued over something important and Lucky wouldn't be so hostile. Lucky's known to be an honest man. Maybe I can push him a little more. So it doesn't seem the type to hold a grudge, right? Good day, Andreas. Oh boy. Attilia. Well, if it isn't the rotten Baron's new best friend. Nice to see you too, Attilia. Sarcasm, how original. What do you want? You must be bothering me for something. I wanted to ask you... We've never really talked. I thought it's time we get acquainted. No one wanted to talk to surly old widow out of the goodness of their heart. No, I know your type. There's something for me. What is it, boy? Spit it out. Did a young man come to entertain an old widow out of simple Christian charity? No, go away. Okay, I want to ask you a question about the murder. Oh, is that what all those bells were for? My, what a blessing. Not the first time Perkta answered my prayers. You don't know what I think? I'm glad he's dead. I hope whoever killed him gets the abbot next. Maybe burns that entire abbey to the ground. That's all I have to say about it. What did the Baron do to earn your ire? What did I just tell you, boy? I don't have anything else to say on the matter. Life of an innocent man is at stake. One of the elderly brothers. Can't you spare a few minutes? Yeah, I care about what happens to some old monk? Idiot. Kill them all. See if I care. Every agent of the church should die. Where's this anger coming from? Is it something I can help with? No! Well, maybe. Don't suppose those scummy arms of yours can hold more than a paintbrush. Not as strong as I, but I can lift things and reach high places if that's what you need. Often someone offers to help an old lady Attila. Fine. You do some things for me, maybe it'll jog my memory. But it's going to take a while. Lots of things been building up. Think I'm too old to do. You got some place to be? Always got time for you, Attila. Follow me then. I can see right through them. You collect some firewood, haven't been able to muster the energy. Let's gather some sixtum. No questions. Good. Most impressive. Wow. That was the longest way to grab some sticks. Look at that branch there. The big one. If you insist. Good. I like an obedient boy. Use all these sticks. They're too big. You need to break them down for me. Sure, break the sticks. Got it. I need the right side at a certain length, so break them and forget the leftover scrap. Where should I break them? I'll know when I see it. Now get snapping, boy. Too short. Maybe I should get a real man to help me. Suppose that one is fine. Some mementos from Rannig here. Going crooked and I can't recall. Could you hang them for me, Andreas? Easy enough. Please, be careful with my pictures. Some are very fragile. I would hate to lose them to your carelessness. You'd hang those papers on the table I can't reach. There you go. Looks alright. Hang those. Remove the cross. What you gain, Timmy boy? Alright. Just do it. My husband, painting care, like job. Where did come from, Ottilia? Yeah, found on the table last night. Maybe some scrap from a book Rannig liked. Barely read it. The writing's too fancy. Keep it if you want. It means nothing to me. Okay, I will. Got one last thing for you to do if you're willing. Legal document. I need you to read it. The words are too small for my old eyes, and my reading's not so good. Nothing would delight me more, Ottilia. That I have no doubt. Let me see here. The document shows, etc., etc. Here we are, the meat of the document. It says, oh, due to the recent death of Rannig Emperor's lack of heirs to inherit your inability to pay fees on the land, your property is forfeit to the church. Smells something rotten in this letter. There are questionable assertions in here. Any documentation on Rannig's lease agreement with the Abbey? I never seen anything like that. I didn't think the lease was with Rannig.
The family's lived here for over 100 years. That's true. It's quite likely the lease is with one of your father's ancestors, or not Ranig. If that lease allows for partition of the land, you would have the ability to allow others to farm here in exchange for payments to you. No, they want this land for themselves. Maybe if you talk sweet to ill Peter, you can convince the Gurners to take it on. My honey's starting to vinegar boy, but maybe you're right about the family. I haven't had any problem with the Gurners. In any case, clearly Abby is not being truthful about the existing lease on this property. Seems I use his death as an opportunity to try to change the existing lease to something more profitable. Yes, Ranning's death is I'll follow that monster, Rothvogel. If he were alive, I'd kill him myself. May he boil in hell for all eternity. I think it's time you tell me what happened with the Baron. The Rothvogel devil hiding through our property and told him rightly to leave. The Baron beat Rannig for it, beat him so savagely that he took a cane to walk. He was breathing pain and never could breathe deep as long as he lived, which wasn't long at all. Good God. The Baron was the worst kind of man, careless and cruel. He knew he could beat my Rannig and suffer no consequences, so he did. We're not even sell those animals to him. We were furniture. And I knew after Rannig died, the church would try to take what little I had left. This document only confirms it, all because of Lorenz Rothvogel. Since Rannig left, I'm just wanting to die. Why should I go on living when he's gone? Not even been dead a year. I hoped I would follow him before the church came for what was left of my life. Know where you'll go? A grave, probably. Rannig and I had no children, not even a daughter. Who else would have me? Kill him. So already he finds modesty from you. This is the real purpose of your visit all along. An old woman, Andreas, even walking from my bed to the door, pains me. How could I kill a man in his prime? Not that it matters. I'm sure I'll take the blame for it anyway, just like I'm blamed for every runny nose and thrown horseshoe around here. People in town can't wait for me to die, and the Abbey vultures hate for me, my contempt of them. None of it matters. I don't care what happens to me anymore. Thank you for your help, boy. You're the only one who's come calling since Rannig passed, you know? I'll get out. I need to lie down. You old witch. Of course, I'm glad to help. Sheesh! Should find someone to eat with. I think we're gonna call it there for part 1. Definitely feeling my brain a little fried on that one. Pretty interesting so far. Lots of history in the game. There like a lot more than I thought there would be, to be honest. I hope you guys enjoy it. It's a lot of reading, I know, and a lot of like. So initial impression. It seems like there's a lot of extra information, but it's still fun, and I'm curious to like dive into figuring things out and piecing together, okay, who was where and all that stuff. The voices, of course, are fun. They're just very taxing on me. I can like feel it. You know what I mean? Woo, baby. They set up the story. They set it up for us to get into, and then we talked to like 2 people, and we're gonna call it there.